So we spent the past year talking about AH and JD, and a lot of stuff came out during that, and it got really, really nasty. And it looks like we're about to do it all over again with these two. So this has been a long time coming. The divorce happened, I think, a little while ago. I forget exactly when. I want to say 2017. It was right after this plane ride. And we have details now of what is alleged to have happened. Now, this is a little bit different than AH and JD, where it was very one-sided. There was a lot to discredit AH. In this situation, it looks like it's pretty much going to be he said, she said, but this is very early, and what's being said involves their children, which they have a whole bunch of. This is going to get really nasty, and I wonder if this is going to be as big as the Depp stuff. I don't know if it will be or not, because I don't know. First off, I don't know who the public is going to side with in this one. This one's a little bit more. This one's a little bit different than that situation. But I want to go over what's happening. This is going to be a big story. Now, she's claiming a lot of stuff about him, notably that he dumped booze on not just her, on children. He also struck some of them, which is pretty nasty, if true. However, to be fair for him, in his statement, because he released a statement yesterday, a little bit after all of this stuff broke, because all of the court documents came out. And this was actually a pretty good point. He has 50-50 custody of all their kids, and they've got a lot of kids. I think they've got there's a picture of the whole family right here. This is from 2008. They have 6 children. I don't know how many of them are biological between the two. Quite a few of them are adopted. I know at least these 3 are. But they have a big family. Big family. This is him hours after all of those allegations dropped, as the Daily Mail points out here. But he put out in a statement saying, listen, she had her chance to talk about all of this during the custody hearing. There was a big custody trial. They share 50-50 custody. And she never talked about any of the stuff that she's claiming in this lawsuit during the custody hearing. Now, if you were so concerned with the well-being of your children, why didn't you mention any of this during the custody hearing? I actually think that that's a very fair point that he brings up there. It's kind of odd and suspicious to me, just going over this as an outside party. And I want to be clear, I'm not taking anyone's side here because I don't know enough about this to take a side yet. However, I do think the point that he brings up is pretty damn valid. How come all of this is only coming out now during the lawsuit? Now, in my opinion, this is what it sounds like to me. And like I said, this is just speculation. I'm not throwing anything out there like saying this is for sure fact. But they probably were trying to negotiate this behind the scenes before it came full front to this lawsuit. And I wonder if she's like, okay, well, some nasty things are going to come out if this goes to trial. Which reminds me of the AH bottle situation, which I don't want to get into, but remember how that just came out for the first time on the first day of the trial? So I don't know. What I do know is what he said makes a lot of sense. If you were so concerned, why didn't you say anything then? Why is it for the lawsuit? Because personally, if I had a partner that was doing that to my children, I wouldn't want her around them. Not until the person got extensive help. And even then, I would be very, very cautious and probably would not allow that person around my children for a long, long time unsupervised. But apparently now it's just coming out. So, like I said, interesting stuff here. This will be a pretty big deal once this goes to trial, unless they somehow settle before then. And you would think that they probably would, but relationships when they end can get pretty nasty, and it looks like this is going to not be a different situation. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So this is him after all of this came out. I'm actually kind of shocked that he made a public appearance after all of this leaked, but, well, not leaked, got released, sorry. But anyway, what she's saying happened is that apparently he put his hands around the neck of one of the six during a drunken flight on their private jet, or on a private jet. Another one got hit in the face, and he slammed Angelina Jolie against the wall while grabbing her hair, which is pretty bad. She says that Pitt attacked her verbally after accusing her of being too deferential to the children, and 90 minutes later began yelling at her, pushing her against the bathroom wall, and then hitting the ceiling of the plane. He's also accused of pouring beer and wine on his family during all of this, and that seems to be the thing. He hurled insults at people and put his hands on one of the kids and then struck another. Now, he is, of course, denying all this, saying that she keeps changing the narrative. I don't know what that is because I haven't been following this. I'll have to go back and look and see what things have been said like before this and see if there are any changes. But these aren't good. And if true, he's a pretty awful person. I don't care if he's drunk or not. However, though, I do think that he makes a really good point that during the divorce proceedings and the custody hearings, none of this was brought up then. It seems like it's just being brought up now. So this could get very, very ugly. In fact, it is likely going to get very, very ugly. And I wonder if there is any chance of them settling this before it goes forward. But I think the fact that it's already to this point means that it probably won't. So we'll see what happens. This is going to get ugly. Anyway, let me know what you think. Is this the new JDAH situation? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.